should the 4 facilities be developed.
In way of employment and taxes, those are not happening. I don't have them.
Anybody else from the public before?
Yeah, Joe Piccone.
State your name, please.
Joe Piccone. Andy, on several occasions you said that people came to you and asked you that, or told you that they wanted a place, like a restaurant or hotel. Could you verify that statement? Do you have any petitions or a statement, or is this just you saying it?
No, it's the
Who?
comment, the verbal comments we received from.
Verbal?
Yes,
Okay, that's all I want to know.
From business owners in the park?
yes,
Who?
Ooh,
McLean TMG.
TMG has their own cafeteria.
TMG does have their own cafeteria, so they want their own restaurant up there?
They also have visitors that come from the hotel.
5 a day.
Why can't they come to town and have business downtown?
That's gonna keep the hotel alive.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole point.
Anybody else from the public?
Okay, if no further comment, why don't we just redo the motion?
This request for the
Let's separate.
gambling money,
Okay.
would that go through, that's not contingent on this? This is going
No.
through anyway?
That's the next item on the
In
agenda.
other words, we're gonna fix that sewer anyway.
Your approval tonight is contingent on pretty much that interceptor being expanded.
Okay.
They're doing that at their own risk, and they know, because they need to fix it. It'll be fixed one way or another.
But if they vote against it, is that still getting fixed? Are you still getting
If you
your
vote
grant?
against it, there probably wouldn't be any need to fix it right now, because there would be no increased sewage flow.
What
Because of
about Cherry Creek?
Can't those funds be used to fix Cherry Creek?
this, no, that's, well, we were told Sterry Creek would be in the millions. Yeah.
Have you talked to the gaming grants? Because that is out there for water and sewer infrastructure. I actually read about it when I heard about that, you know, Mr. Angeli was making this contingent upon this hotel being built, so I went and researched it.
Mr. Angeli's interest, and maybe Mr. Walsh is here to maybe, I don't want to speak for him, but my understanding is that his interest is duo with Slipco, because it would also affect his development that he's looking to put in. Mr. Walsh, do you want to address that?
Yeah, I mean, he has, the property Ray Angeli is looking
I'm
to
sorry, your
develop,
full name, sir?
Matt Walsh, has, he has a couple other options, but probably his best option from, just an alignment of the sewer, location of the sewer that makes sense would be to tie into the system that's directly in a public road in front of the property, which happens to go through the same point.
And which properties are these now?
It's a tract of vacant land that accesses off of Hill Street.
Are those the town, where the townhouses are being built?
Yeah, well, it's proposed. There's nothing under construction yet. This is still in the planning phase.
How many proposed townhouses?
12 units that are proposed now, and then single-family lots, approximately 23 of those as an initial phase.
And that's the one behind the eatery near the fire company number 2? That land?
The part that's proposed for development right now isn't behind the eatery, but it's part of that same property. It's a large property. It's like 250 some acres. That's vacant currently.
And Mr. Angeli is proposing to write this grant for Jessup, not Jessup itself. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, yeah, to get a grant writer involved to help put the grant package together on behalf of Jessup to upgrade the section of the sewer that.
In cooperation with the borough and Slipco. That's my understanding.
Yes.
So would that have to be approved, the cooperation agreement between the borough, Slipco, and Mr. Angeli, who's a private developer at this point?
The borough's more or less, in the sense that tonight council's gonna entertain, the grant money has to be applied for by the end of this month, by the end of September. So it has to, if you don't apply, you don't get it. We have to wait another year. So it was proposed on Thursday night that we apply for it. You don't get it, you don't get it. You have to go to Plan B after that. But this is.
What is Plan B?
I have to talk to the engineer. The line needs to be expanded. Everybody knows that.
Then Rick, if the line needs to be expanded, is the approval of this grant, of getting this grant,
No.
then I don't understand it.
The grant is gonna be submitted, we're on the issue of the Valley View Business Park, and I'm only addressing this because this is separate, but it's kind of related.
So if we don't get the grant and we've approved them, they're still gonna build it.
They will have no ability, no, they can't build it, they will not get a building permit.
But that's my
Jared,
question, that's
no,
my
Jared,
question.
They can't get a building permit. And I did say that earlier. We're approving this land development plan. They're gonna proceed with the infrastructure. They cannot build a building, I said that, and nor can they hook up to the sewer until these contingencies are met. So they will not get a building permit.
Then I have to question your last comment saying that, one doesn't depend on the other, or you wouldn't get the grant if this wasn't going through. To me, it sounds like, based on your last comment, that it's absolutely necessary, otherwise you can't build up
They
there.
have to.
So I would apply for that grant regardless of whether or not
We're
they're going to
applying
build
for
it.
We're applying for it, and if this money doesn't come through, we have to look at other means to expand this line. That's what Tony explained.
So you're not getting their help. If you do not approve this tonight, you're not getting their help.
Oh,
The
Is
grant
that what
writer.
you're saying?
no, I'm not saying that.
No, I'm asking Mr. Walsh.
No.
Are you writing the grant no matter what? So if they say no
Yes,
to this hotel,
yeah, we're
you're
still.
gonna write the grant?
Yes,
Okay, and this is,
Yeah.
are you employed by Mr. Angeli?
yes.
Okay.
He's
And he's a former gaming commissioner.
He's his engineer. He's an
Yeah,
engineer.
he's hired the firm I work for to develop the plans for him. and build the plans.
Stand there.
I would just like to ask one question. The story around in my area is saying that even though these 12 buildings are gonna be built on the lower side, that there's gonna be 200 homes on this side of the river and 200 homes on the other side of the river. Now, does this sewer thing contain all these homes, or would that have to be a different sewer line?
No, it could, there's not that many.
Well, that's what,
But,
but there's a lot.
yeah, well, part of expanding the sewer, if a second phase of the development,
Yeah,
if
that's
they
the
pursue a second phase, after they do the first phase, then, yeah, the lots would try to connect to that.
To
that
this
development.
and to come down
Yeah.
into Constitution
Yes,
Avenue?
correct.
Wouldn't that be like pushing these people on Hill Street and Clarkson Avenue pretty much? Like, would it be able to take all this stuff?
Yeah, well, that's what, as part of the grant money is, going towards a proper design for the section that's gonna be upgraded to make sure that it's sized properly, to accommodate for
To
future
include the
expansion. like
second
that.
phase?
Yeah, yeah.
Jason has a question.
Jason has.
Anybody else?
Jason.
I just have maybe two or three. The first is to council and to you, Rick. Doesn't it bother any of you that this grant has to be approved tonight, and it's gotta be done by the end of the month? And the first you heard of it, and the first we heard of it was Thursday night?
The application needs to be submitted by the end of the month. We're approving the submission of it.
But doesn't that, you never even heard of this grant until Thursday night when you heard.
We're very aware of the local shared grants.
No, but this specific grant.
Oh,
that he
as far
wants.
as using it for this?
Right, he wants you to apply for a specific grant, he wants you to pass a resolution for it tonight, and the first you ever heard of it was Thursday. So you've had no time really to think about this at all. There's all this grant, there's this gaming commission grant money out there that's available. I've been coming to these meetings for 8 months. What I hear about constantly is not just the Sterry Creek problem, drainage problems up by Mr. Wrightson's house, drainage problems down on First Avenue, drainage problems, every time it rains, people are getting flooded everywhere throughout this town. So we're gonna take an opportunity to apply for this grant to move this project forward, when we could be applying for a grant to fix these smaller problems that will actually benefit the homes of people who already live here.
It's not just this project, it'd be other projects as well.
Understood.
Mr. Angeli's project.
So then
whatever
just
other ones come in the future.
Yes or no, does it bother you that you didn't have any more advance warning on this until Thursday night?
What about any others?
And Anybody on the council any trouble?
No, they voted for the power plant.
Well, I mean, were you guys aware that this grant money existed before now?
Gaming money?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Why didn't we apply for it for any of the other things then?
For the people of Jessup.
People are building, that's why.
We don't care about the people that live here now, we only care about the people who are gonna move in.
Right, right.
That's the
Ones that are gonna
that's the
elect.
theme, over and over again.
I've been having all these meetings too.
I have a question.
One thing is still like also.
What part of these sewage interceptor lines get replaced? Where do you know?
What's that?
What sections get replaced?
What's, I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
The sewer interceptor line, do you know what
Yes.
section is getting replaced?
I don't think it's the interceptor itself that, it's a section, that, of the sewer that the borough owns.
So the
Constitution.
Constitution, but they're not going down into the lower section.
To the lower.
No, no, the interceptor, I believe, is owned and operated by the sewer authority.
Right.
We're
They're thinking about Delaware Street and Constitution,
Yeah,
that area?
yeah,
Where everybody in this town, where their sewage goes through?
yes, correct,
Thank you.
yeah.
And that's the issue, everything seems to flow through there. based on what
Everything
Tony
flows
said.
through there.
Does? Okay, so
Because it comes down Hill Street, takes a left on
that's
Second
what,
Avenue.
that's what the resolution was saying.
Everybody from the tracks up goes that way.
Right.
Well, it would be the, no, I know. I want you to redo the motion for the, with the approval of the land development with the three contingencies that I read.
Don't make that motion.
The same motion should be made.
Not zoning plan with the three items.
Yes, yes.
The motion on the floor,
Maggie Loney?
No. Good for you.
Maggie Mackey? Mulatto, no.
Michael
Yeah,
Gaspar?
no.
Pat Purpose? Joe Mulatto?
No.
Randy Santarelli? Lorraine Stevens?
Four.
Jim Bernozzi? 5 in favor, 2 against.
All right, so since we're on the issue of the resolution, you have the resolution to authorize the submission of an application under the local share account to DCED and CFA to request a grant in the amount of $326,891. That number was given to us by our engineer as an estimate. That includes about $15,000 in administration fees, from what I'm told. And just the resolution would authorize the borough to apply for that. To increase the sewage, upgrade the sewage facility line in the area of Constitution Avenue to the LSRBA interceptor.
Make a motion.
No.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
I'll second it.
roll call vote.
Maggie Loney?
Four.
Michael Gasper?
4.
Pat Purpose? Joe Mulatto?
4.
Randy Santarelli?
4.
Lorraine Stevens?
4.
Jim Bernozzi?
4.
All in favor.
Okay, I have two things under my report. Am I next? One is, as we discussed on Thursday night, council agreed to schedule 2 meetings for the curative amendment, this Thursday, September 17th at 6:30. And a motion would be appropriate, and that would be more of a work session type of a meeting to be here. And then a second meeting, Thursday, September 24th at 6:30, to contemplate official action if necessary. So we need a motion to approve and schedule both of those dates officially.
For a 2 meeting,
Yeah,
good motion on the floor.
I'll make that motion.
I already did the act, but we need you to formally approve it.
I'll second it.
Maggie Loney? Four.
Did you want to ask if there's comment before you go on the scheduling of the meeting?
Maggie Loney? Four. Michael Gasper?
Four.
Pat Kirkus? Four. Joe Bellato?
Four.
Randy Santarelli?
Four.
Ray Stevens?
4.
Jim Bernozzi? All in favor.
The last thing I have is, as part of our correspondence that we went through on Thursday, there was a letter from the county commissioners regarding ambulance dispatching. I had an at-length discussion with Chief Petoniak about this, and he explained to me that this letter only addresses advanced life support, or ALS. He said that they do in fact contract with Cottage Host Company. He said that they do not contract with them for ALS, advanced life support. They only contract with them for basic life support, and it is limited. It is only during the day, Monday through Friday. So he believes that this letter is not applicable.
That is what?
The fact it's not applicable.
Oh,
This only addresses advanced life support.
right.
They will continue to dispatch in the borough of Jessup ambulances for advanced life support that are the closest to the scene. So I hope that clarifies. I can put that in the correspondence. That's all I have. That's it.
Second.
I just have a couple of questions. How did all of this come about with this power plant without coming to people from Jessup and asking them, what do you think, and getting some information on it? How did it come about? Like, did somebody come down from heaven and drop this on your heads? Or are we looking at Mello and DeNaple coming in and saying, this is what you're going to do? You're going to put this plant up there because this is what I want? I mean, does anybody have an answer for that? Should it have been on a ballot maybe, that we should have a right to have it?
I tried to get it on a ballot, but you can't put it on a ballot in
But
Pennsylvania. I tried.
Well, why weren't we informed of this before this? Before this whole?
You were informed the same time that we were.
No, you weren't.
No, everybody knew about this before. You had to know. You couldn't have just been informed when we were informed. Everybody had to, somebody up there had to know what was going on. Somebody had to know one point.
They
Okay?
came to us in 2012, and it was discussed at
Public
dozens and dozens of meetings, public meetings.
Well, I called all the councils and asked them, why aren't they giving us help? You know what I was told? That's Jessup's problem. That's not our problem.
Who'd you call?
Oh, Congressman, Toomey, Cartwright, Casey, that's Jessup's problem. So my question to all of you is, if it's just Jessup's problem, what was all these people doing from out of town at Jessup's problem? That's right. To put their input for jobs for Jessup when it was just Jessup's problem. It wasn't out of town's problem, it wasn't the congressman's problem, it was just our little problem. So how did we get all these people to come in and make comments and change everybody's mind to put this plant up there when the majority of people in Jessup don't want it? You didn't want it at first. You stood in my living room and told me you were against it. You shocked me. You could have dropped my book. Right. Believe me when I tell you, I'm so disappointed.
That's right, in the beginning it wasn't because of
Yes.
the water. Like I told you, I was concerned with the water that was coming down. And they changed that water system now, termites.
You were against it as far as I know, up until the night you went up there and voted for it, and I could not believe my ears. I respect you people as people, but as representing me in my town, which I've lived in for 73 years, you disgust me.